What's up guys, Shane here for Fugatech 3D Printing, and today we're checking some PLA from Plasfil. Welcome back guys. So I picked this up on Amazon using some of the Patreon funds that you guys were so kind to send me. As I say, I try to pick up at least one new roll a month using those funds just so I can try out something else rather than reach out to companies or whatever companies reach out to me to try things out. So I figured I would try this out. This was a generally cheap, I want to say this was under $15 at the time of purchase. Before I publish this, I will make sure to actually check what the current pricing is on it. But it was a good price on it and I like the color, so I figured I would try it out. And it is a pretty generic box, at least its color. It says it has a stable melting point, good round shape, uniform diameter within plus or minus 0.03 millimeters. Super premium filament is going to be like 0.02 millimeters, so this is pretty close. And it has consistent colors. That's always a good thing to know, that the color is going to be the same throughout the entire roll, and that your filament diameter is going to be the same throughout the entire roll as well. Now once we pop it out, it is a slightly smaller spool. It's not like the really small spools like the old Ziltech spools or some Catalyst filament, a few others that use those small round ones I really don't like. This is a little bit bigger than that, but it still has a fairly small, from this side, a fairly small hole in the middle for your spool holder, which that may or may not need. I don't know how well that's going to work on some of my printers, but we'll find a way to make it work on them. It does have an open side design, which is nice, so you can actually see how much film you have left rather than kind of guessing, well, it's about yay deep. Well, you can actually see how deep it is. Makes it a little bit easier. So it tells us it's blue, 1 kilogram, it's PLA, the print temp is 190 to 220, and it gives you the batch number. And this is the first time I've ever had a warning sticker on the bag that's just telling you basically this bag is not a toy, keep away from children, which what you see on like a lot of Rubbermaid containers have that and other commercial products have it. But I've actually never seen that on a filament spool before. And it's just a generic vacuum sealed bag, which I like when companies use the Ziploc bag style just because you can reuse those bags. Some desiccant packs, and here it is. I mean, you can see compared to my blue shirt, it is a very blue color. Oh, those snap out. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry. All right, so these are just inserts that actually make it smaller, because there's a lot of people out there, I'm not one of them, that will actually print inserts to put in here for controlling the wind of this, I guess, or how it's going to unspool. They put bearings in there, which I really don't agree with, because you get a lot of unspooling of your filament, so you have to worry about like anti-backlash for just the unspooling part of the filament. But I probably won't use these, and it is a glue designed to halves. It's a pretty thin and flimsy spool, not flimsy, but it's just not like super sturdy. Either way, the wind looks really nice in there, and it's interesting how they have it locked. So the filament here is where it's actually held in, but on the other side there's a piece of filament that goes in, looks like it goes across and then in both sides, kind of holding the whole spool there together, and it goes underneath the one part. So please remove this wire after pull through. So again, interesting. So I want to get this on some of the printers, see what it comes out like. I really like the color. I'm hoping this turns out well, and hopefully we can have another budget filament for you guys to check out. So here's some time lapses and we'll be right back. Alright, so the Plasfil Blue PLA turned out great. Multiple printers. Again, I've been trying to print everything. I've been printing on several different printers, but a lot of this actually was on the G-Tech i3 aluminum, and the quality pretty consistent for such a cheap filament. I think when I originally bought this, it was $10 or $12 on Amazon. So it changes every now and then, so I'm not quite sure what it is exactly today when you're actually going to see this video. But I'll make sure to put a link down below for Amazon so that you guys can pick some up, because it actually worked out really well. one of the main things I wanted to show off was my very first enabled hand. I've been wanting to print one of these ever since I saw one, probably when I first started 3D printing. It's like, you know what, one day I will print one of those. Now this isn't complete because I'm just using regular old string for the hand so that when you pull it, you can actually see the fingers go in. But it does require 1mm elastic string to be mounted here on the top of the fingers and right here on the bridge of the wrist to actually tie to. That way, whenever you bend your wrist and it pulls all the fingers in, like so, around my hand, when you loosen your wrist, it's supposed to spring these back out so that the hand is always open when straight, but when you bend your wrist, it curls it in like so. And that is in order to give children the ability who lose their hand, it gives them the ability to actually shake someone's hand or grab something even using different 3D printed parts. Now there are a ton of these enable hands out there. This one's the Raptor Reloaded that I remember that Joel printed a long time ago, and it was just one I had saved in my list. But very easy print. All the parts fit on a 200 by 200mm print bed. You do have to be a little bit creative where you place some of your parts, as some parts actually print underneath here, which has a big support piece in here that's hollow. You can put some of the tiny pins up in here without any problem whatsoever, just in order to keep them from going anywhere, and again, to fit everything on that 200 by 200mm bed. I ended up printing this at 0.28mm layer height, so a little bit larger, almost the max you can do with a 0.4mm nozzle. You can go up to about 0.3 depending on what you actually set your extrusion to. Mine is set to 0.44 by default, not the automatic 0.48, and so that makes my max actually 2.8 instead of 3.0. But yeah, so this came out really well, and the only thing that this is missing is you would add some more straps around here so that the end of, I guess, the appendage would be able to fit in there. It's, again, it's for a child, so my fingers barely fit in there. That would be able to strap that in, and then here, these slits here would actually fit a piece of Velcro strap, so they could fit that in there and then wrap the Velcro around the wrist section. So you can see here's my hand and here's the Raptor hand. It would actually wrap around their wrist section. So again, as they bend their wrist, the fingers curl in and grab a hold. And there's even modified fingers that you can do that actually would have fingertips. Some of them have fingernails. The ones I chose did not have the fingernail on there. So if you have a little girl that wants one, someone can print this for her. Then she can actually paint the nails whatever color she wants. You can print these in any different color, multiple different colors. So make sure you guys check out the enabled project. I'll put a link down below for it and a link to this as well. It's a great project. I actually think I'm going to do a challenge here in the next few months, challenging people to go out there and either remix these models or just print them out with some spare filament you have laying around and get it sent out to the folks at Enabled. So they do a great job. But now I want to look at the rest of these prints up close and see what the quality was like from the filament. Of course, first up, Maker Coin. Very nice. Walls are nice. You can see here a little bit of the banding from the G-Tech, just a slight bit. Not nothing to write home about, but it is there. And then underneath where the supports were, it did great. Actually, with the cooling on the G-Tech as well, you see there's very little drooping here. This is a big droop area on the Maker Coins. Did great there. Over the support, almost a little too well. I think it was a little too close on this though, because the support was a little hard to get off. The bottom layer was almost fused with the bottom layer of this. So I had to work my magic to get that off. But yeah, I mean, there were no real issues at all with this print. Little strings in there, here and there, but again, nothing to write home about. Give another quick close-up here of the enabled hand. As I said, you can see, it's loud, you can see the layer lines here because I printed at the 0.28. At a 0.2mm at a 0.2mm layer height, it'd be a lot easier or a lot harder to see these layer lines, but that's okay. And then underneath, again, this is just where the supports were. You can sand this all out. Again, it's where support was, so it's not important. But it actually is a big piece that prints that's hollow. And underneath here, you'll put some of the pins. Like here we have the wrist pin. The finger joint pins are all in here. Thumb. That's what makes everything the ability to actually spin. And then again, when you pull it shut, it closes like so. And the elastic bands would spring it back open and it would pull it shut. So awesome, very cool project. Even if you guys aren't going to send these out to anyone, I recommend you you know, print one and just try to put it together. See what it's like to actually have to work on one of these hands. We got a very simple boat here. Somebody took the idea of the benchy because the benchy actually doesn't float in water. So my son is very distraught at the fact that he can't float a benchy in the pool or in his bath. So I found this model. This is just a simple toy boat. It is made by the same people, CT3D XYZ. And again, just off of the benchy. This actually does float in water because it's appropriately weighted, the front versus the back. That's why it comes up real high here, larger back right there. But yeah, this again, you can see some of the layer lines there. But first try, this is a great print, very easy to do. Again, it's just for my son for the bath and for the pool. And then I found this one, which is another thing kind of reinvented from the benchy boat. I honestly forget the name of the model right now. But this turned out to be pretty cool. I think something else was here, but this has been sitting on the shelf for about a week now, and my son has stolen it several times. So whatever was up here has broken off due to him dropping it. But the big thing on this model now is other ones I've printed, you have to be careful here because of how it's layered. And it goes down, you know, it's down the bottom, it's up high, back down, back up. When it does all that, some of those get under extruded a little bit. They don't fill in quite enough. I was able to finally dial this in enough to get this printing well. There's no support, so the overhangs here were great on the door. It cooled well. Here on the bottom sides, I did have some prints that had a little bit of issues right here, but this filament, you know, you can see there's a little bit of distinction when it goes to the hardest part of that overhang and then finally slows down. Like that slope there is really, really tight. But right here it slows down quite a bit, which the print gets easier to do. But yeah, again, nice model. I did do a vase, and this is like the cloth vase. It's super weird. It really looks like a cloth. It's just kind of like sitting up like this, like it's frozen in the ground or something like that. A lot of people use it pen holders. Again, I just saw it a few weeks ago. Thought it looked cool, wanted to try it out. It's 4 bottom layers, but there was something definitely on the bottom on my bed still when I printed this. But again, no big deal. And you can see the layers a little bit in there, even in the vase mode on the G-Tech. So again, that's just a Z banding issue, very minor on that. But yeah, again, first try on this one, came out great. It's sturdy, you know, for being PLA. PLA is kind of brittle for certain things, but it's sturdy enough to use this for a pen holder or anything like that. Even, I guess flowers you could do, it's watertight, so why not? Go wild. And finally, I was working on a carriage for the camera slider that I'm working on right now. This was the new mock-up that I did. After I added this, I had it straight. I added this fillet right here, this fillet, and that was able to just draw out the surface area to how this attaches, making this mount much, much stronger. But again, very super simple print, super simple design that I made in Fusion 360. Eventually, I will release my modified files for that camera slider. But yeah, again, great model. It just looks nice from any angle you look at it. Bottom layers, side layers, top sides up there. Again, really good stuff. So again, Plasfil PLA is an absolute bargain filament. You can get it super cheap on Amazon. It goes on sale, I also saw from time to time. So it's well worth it if you're looking for a cheap filament that performs well. This is a very, very dark blue. And a lot of times I buy filament, when I look at filament, I'm looking for a specific color. So if you're looking for one of their specific colors, I can vouch for the blue. Other colors I can't so much, but regardless, they all should perform very much the same. Blue, black and white sometimes get hard, but most of them should perform the same. And it was good for me, so I hope it would be the same for you guys. And if you want to check it out again, I'll put a link down below in Amazon for it. I bought this using Patreon money that you guys sent to me a while back. And like I said, I try to pick up a new cheap spool every month off of Amazon just so I have something else to review that I am buying with money you guys are giving me, not what a company is sending. So if you guys found this video useful, whether or not you should get some Plasfil PLA, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Talk to me in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you, talk to you guys, whether you're to or for the video, or for or against the video, I should say. I want to hear from you guys. And if you want to stay up to date on what's going on in the channel, then hit that subscribe button. If you want to know what's going on with the channel immediately after I upload something, hit the bell icon beside the subscribe button. That way you get email notification anytime I upload new content. If you want to donate to me on a monthly schedule, there's a Patreon link down below. If you want to donate to me for a one-time thing, there's a buy me a coffee, help me, you know, back one of my projects I'm going to be doing. There's all Streamlabs link down there, so those all help me out financially. If you want to donate, or if you want to help me out without actually directly donating to me, down below is a bunch of affiliate links. Go ahead and use those. Do your daily shopping. Again, the Plasfil will be down there with an Amazon affiliate link, so if you feel that you want to use that, a little slice of what you buy comes to me here. So I'm getting tongue-tied. It's getting late. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy printing.